Sitting here waiting to see if anyone's coming in. I don't even know how all this works on a cell phone. I can't do it horizontal. Only allow me to do it vertical. Someone watching, you gonna comment? I'm taking questions. All I can do is, wait for people to come in. I don't even know. I don't know. Oh, I see. They're switching to the other side for the other camera. Learning this thing. This is my first time doing this on my cell phone. Well, thank you for being a supporter. You ain't a troll. I mean, I don't know no more. Who's what? They don't like to put their face. They don't like to put nothing in their channels to look legit. I look them all up. But, I mean, any questions on law enforcement, the U.S. codes, case laws don't exist. I mean, don't exist. Case laws are bull crap. They have other case laws where when you try to use the ones that are there that you think and believe that it's supposed to protect you, well, they have other case laws that they've used to go against those case laws. So the case law is there to support us, isn't there to support us. The only thing that's there to actually protect us and that tells us what we are, who and what we are, and who and what they are, that the U.S. codes is what protects us. And when we learn those U.S. codes, it's over for them. If everybody was to learn their U.S. codes, I did a video recently, it says U.S. codes. Just, you can write them down and look them up. Cornell Institute, LLI, that website. Go in there and you'll be able to look up the U.S. codes better. Because when I tried to look them up on the internet, they don't bring up what I heard the U.S. code, what the U.S. code is supposed to say. It says something else. I'm like, this is not what I saw or heard on this other guy's channel who showed me and everybody else the U.S. codes is in their documents. It's their codes. They have to abide by. And the Constitution, if you really read it, and you go through it and look, there's nothing in them that states anything about local government, state government. There's only supposed to be the United States government. But when you look up 18 U.S. Code 3002, you'll find out the definition of the word United States. The only word that's there is corporation. It's not a government. The word government's not in there to define what the U.S. is. Only corporation. 1877 was when they fully implemented, well, it's supposed to be the United States of America Incorporated Corporation. But then that one was ended later on, and they created the United States Corporation. So, everybody's being lied to. All these states are not state governments. There is no such thing as a state government. They're corporations. They help the government make money. And then they lie to us and tell us it's a government and they have the right to govern over us. But they can't. You can look it up. In the U.S. Constitution, there's nothing in there that states Americans of America is required to obey the U.S. Constitution. Is required to register and vote in the elections. You got to read the Declaration of Independence. Both of them. None of them states that we are to be governed over, period, and then that we're to be governed under a democracy. We're supposed to be governed under a republic. All other countries are governed under a democracy. We're supposed to be different. We were supposed to be free. See, the forefathers of the North America that they created, that led up to the full 13 colonies, they created, and it did not have a government. So, I have people trying to tell me that the colonies was some other thing, but it was kind of like a government, but really it wasn't, because it was not there to govern over the people. It was created for the people to be the controllers of the government, and the government there was to be there to help inform us in case if another country wants to come and invade us or whatever else that ain't right, that could potentially come here and harm us. That's all it was for, and it was supposed to be there to protect us, maybe from businesses. Back then, they didn't have very many businesses. That's why in the U.S. Constitution, the word corporation does not exist. It exists in our U.S. codes, but not in the U.S. Constitution. Corporation does not exist in the Declaration of Independence. They never knew what a corporation was then. This was all before 1871. And they all had died by, I believe it was 1830s, late 1830s. George Washington was the youngest one. He was 18. A lot of people don't know that. A whole lot of people don't know that. He was 18. But and it's like El Puro. He's got a channel. He goes live every day, Monday through Friday, at 3 p.m. and then he'll go live at 6 p.m. and then he'll go live at 9 p.m. And he does StreamYard. I'm so heavily censored and attacked even on X by the platforms that I don't believe I can have a StreamYard. They'll probably just shut it off before I can really get anywhere. I may try it. And that way I could be able to pull people up. I can see you, or you know, we can talk to each other and get to learn more. And I could possibly get El Piro to come in, and other people that knows what they're talking about, went and studied their stuff. Because this guy, he drives without a driver's license, tags, insurance. He goes after them with their U.S. codes and everything else. Surety, what a creditor is. I mean, that's what we are. We are the surety. We are the creditors. We are to be insured that they are there to protect us. That they are there to be for us. But they're really not. See, they get everybody to jump and do what they want. Vote for me. Vote for this. Be for this. Be for that. But then when the American people starts, like now, and I've been doing it for a few years, been writing notices, which is actually petitions. They really ain't what people think they are. They're just petitions to petition the government under the First Amendment, or the first law. They're called Bill of Rights, the first 10. They're not called amendments. If you look it up, they're called Bill of Rights 1 through 10. And when they recreated the Constitution, they changed it and made it all 1 through 27. The amendments to the Constitution should be 1 through 17. They're both separate from each other. The Bill of Rights is law to protect us from the government. And then the state's constitutions was created out of that also, but with other stuff, to protect us from the states. And this is what people ain't looking at. If you would actually read the constitutions, you would see that nothing in them states anything about a state government. The people that resides in the state government is required to obey the laws of the state. They can't create laws. The Constitution does not say states can create laws. They can only govern themselves. That's all the 10th Amendment is. They can govern themselves. And the Amish, they don't participate. They don't ask government for help, or this corporation. They live on their own. They do it themselves. Now, they will go to grocery stores. They will go to department stores. Well, maybe grocery stores for certain things. But they mainly make, I'll just say 95% of what they got themselves. They make their own clothes. They make their own tools most of the time. Homesteaders will go to grocery stores and go to department stores and all that. But these others, the Amish, they're independent. They're free. They don't depend upon a corporation or a government. They say, leave me alone. They're like the forefathers of North America. They don't walk towards it. They stay away from it. The forefathers of North America walked away from that king and that government or corporation, whatever it was then, because we don't really know. But all countries, if you look it up, UCC 1-201, it states in there why the all caps name was created. They created that UCC code, or that UC code book. The government or the states did. Not the government, the states did. To use it to control us with. They don't have that right by the U.S. Constitution to create anything and enforce the people that reside in the state to obey them. It's all supposed to be voluntary. All of it. Voting, everything. That's why you register, walk up, register to vote. You ain't forced to vote. To keep them alive. People just ignorantly listen to them, put them on a pedestal. I mean, they're like, it's like they're, I mean, look at the ones that you'll see, like cartoons when it shows, like Elvis Presley, or the women all, oh, you know, all these celebrities and actors in the past, the people who did music in the past, it was all, ooh, women throwing their panties at them and everything. That's the way it is in government. It's just, or this corporation. It's the same thing. It's all a show. It's all an act. I don't think they're showing the real Putin. I think it's CGI or AI. I think everything they're showing us is AI. I think all of it's a show put together and performed in this country, if you could call it a country. They want to call it a nation. It can only be a nation or a country. Can't be two things. We can't be the United States and we can't be America. We can only be America or the United States. You can only be an American or you can only be a U.S. citizen. Which one are you? As a U.S. citizen, when you check that box and you tell them, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. Well, there you go. You done put yourself under their control. And so they can control you. They can use their authority to control you with. Battery running down. And I can't put this in horizontal. It won't allow it with this phone. Yeah. So when you claim yourself to be a U.S. citizen of a corporation, you've turned yourself into a corporation using that all caps name. When you get that driver's license or that ID, they automatically put your name in all caps and it turns you into a corporation. So you're doing business with them. I've got a video way down where I asked the sheriff, or no, I told the sheriff, I don't work for you. And you know what he said? Yes, you do. And that was strange. And then I said, well, if I work for you, you give me $1,000. You pay me. If I'm an employee, they are supposed to give me a paycheck. I don't work for them. You don't work for them. And then if you go and look up post office protocol and you listen to it, it's on YouTube, and you listen to it, all of the videos, you'll find out exactly what we're under and who is in control. Only in there it states the military's in control of the post office. The military's in control of Washington, D.C. and and the White House, that is the United States corporation that sits inside of Washington, D.C. So when it says you were born in the U.S., the United States, is stating you were born in the United States corporation, the Capitol building. Were your parents in Washington, D.C. and at the Capitol building when you were born to make you a U.S. corporate citizen? That's what a citizen is. That's what a person is. Person is short for personnel. They're employees. I believe it's 18 U.S. Code 911 and 912. That agent employee and officer with authority are U.S. citizens. Nothing in their states that an American is a U.S. citizen. Nothing in their states that civilians are U.S. citizens. Because we're the lower, we're the civilians. And see, the address, the post office created the mailbox for mail. Well, they had to create addresses for each mailbox, one address per mailbox. That's theirs. They created it. You didn't create an address. It's not yours. You're not the creator of it. That mailbox, if it sits outside of your property on what's called public property, but it's actually state property, that mailbox is a federal post office mailbox. It belongs to them, not you. You can't do what you want with that mailbox. You can't move it somewhere else. You'll get in trouble. You're allowed to use it for the mail that you send out and the mail that you get. And when you put that mail in that mailbox, or somebody else puts the mail in the mailbox for them to pick up, it is in their care. So you're supposed to sit here and say, before you put your address, in care of, and then your address. Because the post office that owns that address, or not your address, but the post office that owns that address, they're in care of all of that. You aren't anymore. But you can take that mail back out of that mailbox. You can't just have to leave it in there. I mean, but they're in control of it all. And then they use that to control us because we say we're a U.S. citizen to them too. You have to go to the post office and correct the record. I've been misinformed. I thought I was this, and I am not. I'm not an agent of the United States government or the state. I am not a employee of the United States government or a state. I am not an officer with authority of the United States government or a state. Those who are in, all three of those in the state, working for the states, they're the residents. They're the ones that has to have an address because they're owned and controlled by the military, who owns and controls all of that. So, hello there, Reach, and hello there, Andrew. But I guess one other person watching ain't saying nothing, but I mean, we've been talking to each other, Reach 41 and me, and and I get it. You're brainwashed. You're indoctrinated. This is what they do, and they use fear. Religion uses fear. Cults use fear. Get in our group, you'll be safe. Oh, but you gotta sacrifice something. All cults has to have you sacrifice something. Well, if you want to be under us and you want us to keep you safe, you gotta give up some of your freedoms and ask for permission to fish, to hunt, to travel, that you were already born to do. But when you get old enough to be able to do that, any of those things. As a child, you don't have to have a license. You don't have to for fishing. And when you get old enough, even as a teenager, you don't have to have a license to hunt. Your parents can take you to hunt and you can be able to shoot. You don't have to have a license to carry a gun. But as an adult, grown adult child, you have to have all these things. Because we gotta keep you safe, and we gotta protect all the other little children. Because I watched a deal where Arizona, the cops are all there want to secede from the United States government, and the feds are coming after them. Because in 2020, when the mandates came out, a bunch of people got together in a group to protest against those mandates. Well, the cops put two and two together where if you are grouped up as two or more people, then you're considered a gang. So then they can arrest you on the spot. And they did that. They arrested all those people on the spot. They are totalitarians. Cops are not your friends. When the lights come on, your constitutional rights are gone. They don't exist no more. You may watch all these others who say that these auditors against cops are frauditors, but you're not paying attention to the big picture. That Constitution is there to protect all of us from them. And they're saying to hell with what we're supposed to obey. You're going to obey us, the authority. You ain't obeying laws. You're obeying authority. They just put the laws as words on a piece of paper. And then you go ahead and you agree to be a law abider. But actually, you're an authority abider. You obey authority. You don't obey laws. Authority created them for you to obey them. Kings create laws, so you obey the king. You're not a law abider. It's all lies. Trump knows it. Trump got up there, and I wish I'd have copied that link because in X, I quickly, when I copied the link, I shared it. But I should have copied when I copied it, I should have quickly made a video and put that link in there, and then I'd have had it in the description, because in the description, they really can't delete anything out of the description. They can out of the comments if I was to put it in the comment section and pin it. They can delete it. They don't want you to know the truth. Look at all my videos, every one of them. Garden videos, now the one on my guinea chicks, it might go viral. Because it's gotten more views quicker than all the others. But I've got no viral videos. Garden videos, none of it. They don't want the people to see that and then start looking through the other videos that I'm talking truth. I'm bashing Trump. They all hate Trump. All these fact checkers, all these people that's for censorship and censoring people who's against them. But I'm against Trump, too. And I'm bashing Trump. I'm telling you, he's one of them. And they ain't letting it go. People got to try to search for me. I've had someone tell me that they went to try to search for me when you go up in the filters and you go channel and all this other stuff, and they sit there and they look and they look and they dig and they try to find it, and they say, hey, Barry, you. They don't put you at the top. When you sit there and you search for something, they don't put just that you search for. They put all kinds of other stuff. They hide other channels and then add extra other stuff you ain't looking for. They don't run it right. I'll go on X and I'll see stuff and I'll scroll and then I'll look at something right when I get to it, and right at 2 seconds after I can see it, but I don't get to read it. It's deleted. It's gone. It disappears. So when I see something, I'll go to try to share it. Sometimes it disappears. That's censorship. Nothing that's shared is supposed to just magically disappear off the screen for you to not see it or hear it. So this is what's going on. And I don't remember if I said this, but Trump said this. This is the one that I should have copied the link and had it. We use politics to control other people. So I'm using politics to control you. All of you. I'm using politics. And I need politics. If politics goes away, we lose our control. So if we walked away and stopped participating in the politics, it falls. They lost. That's where they lose. All of them. I believe they're pushing everyone to Trump. Pushing everybody to Trump is what they're trying to do. That's why they have it's hard to say certain words, certain names, because they sometimes will attack you, give you a warning, or just give you a strike, and they'll take the video down. But the other one, besides Trump, look at how he acts. Look at how he talks. Trump does talk like that here and there, but not as bad as the other one. If you really pay attention instead of just listening to what you want, being oblivious up in the clouds, you'll find out the truth. I'm about to give up. I mean, people don't want to listen. These people who support Trump or the other one or somebody else in there, they don't get it. They vet the people in who they want or who is to run for governors or who is to run for president. And they'll sit there on all these news medias and they'll mainly push two people. That's the two people that's going to be running. It don't matter about all the others. That's the two that's going to be up on stage. The main two characters, like wrestling, like football. These two will be at the Super Bowl. Way early before the Super Bowl. But everybody's watching them like, but they're already told that these two are going to be going for the Super Bowl. And they end up at the Super Bowl. So, it all works the same. It's a cult. It's a group mentality system. Without grouping of people to help support Lucifer or God, none of it can exist. Under a group mentality system. As an individual, you can believe what you want and be for whatever you want by yourself. That's your choice. You're free. You got that free will to choose how to live, what you want to do, what you want to have at your house, what you want to grow, what you want to put in your body. Free will. That's what we're losing. We're losing the right to free will. Without free will, you ain't got freedom. If you have the free will to go fish without a license, then you're free. So, it don't matter who you want to put in, whatever name, most of it's internet ballots. So they don't have you, or they don't give you the ability on an internet ballot to write a different name in there. You hit a check on a box on the internet to see who you want to vote for. There's no more, well, I don't want to vote for anyone in there. I'll just put my name, my cat's name, my dog's name, my parrot's name, my dad's, whatever. If people did that, if we just put we the people, because we're supposed to be the president over the government, that they'd lose. We would be the president, like we're supposed to be. We're the masters. We're the controllers. By, for, and of the people. Not this corporation. Not even a government that don't exist no more. But the corporation wasn't created by us. The government was created by the forefathers, and then everybody else accepted it because it wasn't going to be there for control. It was there to say, you're free, and we're here for you to help you protect yourself from them. And everybody was just free. And supposedly they created a government. I wonder if that's a lie. So that way they could eventually, or they brought in the corporation and just made up all this other stuff. It's easy to make up lies when you are the king and you're in control of knowledge, the books, what goes in them and what don't. This is what people don't understand. They took control of the schools. They took control of the books. They took control of the knowledge. So that way they can indoctrinate the children to believe what they want. And you can't go in there today and see what they're teaching at your own free will to your children. You have to set up an appointment. And then they get to set up how they're going to have it done in there. So when you're in there, you think they're teaching them what they're supposed to in all this. And then when you're out, back to normal. We ain't got no control over anything. We, the people, are supposed to have all the political power as it states in the U.S. Constitution or the U.S. codes. Black Laws Dictionary is a dictionary that defines the laws. Black's Laws Dictionary, to define laws, to define words, their words. Why is their words put in all capital letters and then it's mixed in with regular language? That never existed before they started creating that, those all caps words. What's that language, Your Honor? I don't understand that language that's in all caps. What's your definition of that of this word that's in all caps? What's your definition of driver? What's your definition of person? And they'll say children. Well, what's your definition of children or child? People don't know to ask this stuff. And they won't tell you. But when it goes to going in court, look up Jordan Maxwell. Crossing the bar. And he'll tell you straight up, if you look at that door, you'll see it's not a complete from bottom to top solid door. On the very top of it, there's a board that you can see a line, you can see the separation where it was attached. That's called the bar. It goes all the way across, and then you have the door with that little separate board that they call the bar. Well, in reality, if you cross that bar and you don't have the proper license to actually be able to talk to that judge like a lawyer does, the judge ain't going to listen to you, and the judge can do whatever he or she wants to. Because you're not a licensed attorney to be able to practice law in a court. And they're administrative tribunal courts. Judge Gorsuch, you can look him up and read all about him and get to know him. He stated plain and simple, all of these administrative tribunal courts are unconstitutional. We're not supposed to have driver's license and registration and forced insurance and all of that. A U.S. Supreme Court judge admitted it. It's all bull. It's lies. And y'all just accept it. Okay, master. Because that's what a leader is, a master. You obey the master and the master's rules, regulations, mandates, ordinances, edicts, etc. Article 1, Section 1. Only Congress can create regulations, mandates, and all of that, but nowhere is the word law. But they call it law. But when they write it down on the piece of paper and they got that label at top and everything else, look at the very top. You won't see the word law. They're not laws. It's hearsay. And then you accept it. Kids are taught, you obey the authority. That's the grown-ups. They're above you in schools and anywhere else. But when you grow up, like your parents do, they're like the law, the authority. You got to obey them. And your parents always told you, if you was wanting to do all these things that they didn't want you to do, that only grown-ups can do. Well, when you grow up, you're free. You can do whatever you want. That means you have the right to free will. Nobody can stop you. Well, that's a lie. You have Uncle Sam. You have Big Brother, a new branch of family. You have to obey them. You're a grown-up child. The cops in Arizona, one gave an example. I'll go back to that one in Arizona. And you can look up where they came out to the public. And one of them described how children obeys their parents. Well, they see us as grown-up children. They're children. They're employees. They're Goya. G-O-Y-A. Look that word up. G-O-Y-A. Jerry. That old comedian that everybody liked. He was real skinny, real famous. I can't remember his last name. He sat there in an interview on one of those talk shows and called everybody in the audience Goya. Why did these Goya do this or whatever? That's what we're seen as. We're seen as a lower class. They're above the law because they enforce the law. They can run around and they can speed. They can just willy-nilly shoot people and not go to jail like we would, even if it was really in self-defense and you could prove it right there on camera. There are times they'll still take you to jail in certain states. It don't matter if you got evidence right there that proves right there to the cop that you're innocent, that it was justified under law, common law, or under legality. They can do what they want and arrest you, throw you in jail, you go to court, and then you present everything to the judge in court. And if you don't have the evidence, well, they can just say you murdered him, so we'll railroad you and throw you in prison and make money. Prison industrial complex. Jail and prison industrial complex. Look that up. It's created for profit. That's why they can arrest people for anything. You don't comply, well, I'll just arrest you. You don't want to do what I want. You don't want to obey your master. So I'm going to punish you, put you in torture cuffs, and throw you in a dungeon. And then you get tortured right here too, because you got nowhere to go. You can't leave. You can't be on a cell phone. You can be on one of those tablets to get internet and probably be in your emails. I don't know if you can go on the social media or whatever, because I think they're limited too. So you ain't got much freedom. But there are laws at states, and they don't allow these books in prisons for people to learn that they actually still have their rights in prison. The only right they don't have is just to get to leave. Or leave to go to work. And come back. You can't do none of that. That's the only freedom or free will you don't have. The right to. You're stuck. And usually it's over a victimless crime. If Trump was really for freedom and all that, he would have, if he had the powers he said he has as president, he would have took the J6ers out just before he got out, because they were started being thrown in, and he would have fixed it to where they had to stop. He would have actually went after them. He has no presidential powers to do anything to anyone. All he can do is when Congress produces a law or what they want to be law to the president can veto it, pass it, or set it aside, and then after so long it becomes law. I didn't sign it. You can't blame me. It's law. No, yes we can. You set it aside. You didn't veto it. You didn't do the right thing, so you let that unjust, unlawful law just be passed without doing anything. He has the power to pardon himself if he gets in trouble and gets prosecuted, fully and completely prosecuted. He can pardon himself. He can pardon his son, any of his kids. He can pardon the friends. Trump did that in secret. If you look up all the people he pardoned, I've seen the list. I mean, it's long. He pardoned all the lower ones that they need to help them control us. If you really look at it, why does law enforcement back Trump? Because Trump says to all law enforcement, I'm going to indemnify you. Which means right now when the auditors are actually going after these cops and actually able to sue them, sue the city and all this, they won't be able to do it no more. They'll have full and complete qualified immunity to just walk up to you, kill you, take everything that's on you and walk off. The president already has that power with the pardon, the power of pardoning himself. He can walk up to someone, shoot someone right there and kill them for any reason. Oh, you don't like me, you're against this corporation that they want us to believe is a government. Well, pop, bye. I got qualified immunity and all these people in here back me and will protect me from everybody else for what I just did to this person. Trump stated, plain and simple, on camera, I can literally kill or shoot someone and they'll still love me. And then they created Project 2025. Anybody who's president can use that. So if Biden wants to, before he's out, walk up to Trump or send SEAL 6 or Team SEAL 6 to go assassinate, kill Trump, murder Trump, they can do it. They got people that will do it. They control the military. So, it's late, not very many people is showing up, but the next time for the next time, I'm going to do a short video and then actually put out that I'm going to do a live, but I'm going to need people to share it so I can get an audience. This might get to go out. I don't know for sure right now. I think it's what I want to do when I start doing these live streams is invoke my first common law rights to the Bill of Rights in the U.S. Constitution to freedom of speech. My First Amendment right. Or first, I mean, the U.S. Supreme Court said straight up, you actually have to say it like this to the cops. I invoke my Fourth, Fifth Amendment rights. They don't have to say be exactly in that line, but as long as you say Fourth, Fifth Amendment. So it don't matter how you say it, you gotta say amendment in there. They're really rights, they're not amendments. If you read the Constitution, the pocketbook Constitution, I had one, I don't know what I did with it, but it says 1 through 10, Bill of Rights. And then amendments to the Constitution, in which when they created the new Constitution, they put it as amendments 11 through 27 instead of 1 through 17 like it's supposed to be, because that's separate. If you read them, those are for the government employees to abide by. It tells you how the government's supposed to work, how the courts are supposed to work, how jury trials are supposed to work. But if you don't want to do it, and you want to be that lazy, I get it. You know, where I can finally get all the information I can, and if people actually donate to me to help me out so they can get a better show and I can have a background that's nice to look at and whatever else, and actually be able to put up videos that I can copy lead some videos and so I got them. And then I can show them. Download the video. I've got it in my computer. It won't be deleted. This is the problem I have. But if no one wants to help me, then this is what you get. If you don't want better through me, since you want to subscribe to me and watch me as entertainment, well, that's your problem. You're making things just stay the way it is. I don't want to be president. Because if I ran, I'd just tell people, well, you'll see when I get in there. I ain't going to tell you anything because I've got to learn stuff. There's more to learn than just those U.S. If you look, them U.S. codes, it's a stack. A thick old stack. If I was to try to go through that, it would take me years before I could actually become president. Trump knows all these U.S. codes. He was taught them. The police, the law enforcement knows all this stuff. They're taught it. But they're told the American people don't know this stuff because we don't teach them it in schools on purpose. So they can't be free and be able to fight against us with our U.S. codes that they have to abide by. So, I'm going to leave it at this. I'm glad to find out I can go live. It just sucks I can't turn the phone horizontal. So it's going to be vertical when it's done. I can't change it. It says it has to be vertical. So that's not my fault. So don't blame me and attack me for why my deal is vertical instead of the other one. It's these stupid phones, the new ones. They screwed them up. They screwed everything up. If I had internet and a computer, it would be the right way. And a camera to go with it. It's not a lot. I don't want the most expensive stuff. I'll get what I need. I'm not worried about having expensive stuff. I'm not all about material stuff. You can see how I live. I don't, I'm not into that stuff, or I wouldn't be worrying about this. I'd be worrying about making all kinds of money some way, or some other way, so I can have the nice boats, the nice cars, the nice this, the nice that. Some of them I like. Some of them I do want. But I'm not stuck in that, and I want to free us all. That's what I'm for. I'm willing to lose everything and go completely poor to try to wake people up and have us all be free. That's all I want. I just wish everybody else would want that. I mean, I just see too many people that's just okay with having a system like this. So, about an hour is all I'm going to make it. I thank you for coming in. Andrew left. So, thank you for coming in. Reach 41. But I ain't got no money. I ain't got no work. All my money goes on the bills. I got to do some work inside of a group or a carpet company. Put flooring in there, show flooring in their company, so I can make a little money. This guy is real awesome. He treats me better than he's treated anybody else that works for him. And it is amazing that he does that for me. And he don't have to. I can be just a peon. Nah. And I've done stuff to help him, even to save, him on a couple of jobs. So, but I have no work because I'm self-employed. I don't want to go to work for somebody else and work and have to get 2-3 different jobs to try to make enough when I make more doing flooring than I do doing that crap. I can make more in one day than most people make in one day at a fast food joint. I can make their whole paycheck in one day or 2 days. So, I'm done with this. Thank you. You take care. Bye.